Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're going to go ahead and give it another few moments before we begin to allow folks time to join the session. We thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to join us. We have a great lineup of colleges, so feel free to settle in and we'll get started soon. Okay, excellent. Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Vanessa. I'm going to be your facilitator for this evening. Welcome to the virtual college fair of the college fairs of Greater Denver. Sorry about that. We're so excited to have you all join us. We have a great lineup of colleges and universities here to tell you more about their institutions, and we certainly hope that you'll find this session to be very valuable to your own college search. Your camera and microphone are off. That means that you're muted and your video is off. The panelists cannot see or hear you. So you may be wondering, well, how do I ask questions? Well, we certainly hope that you will ask questions, but we want you to use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenter at any time. So we don't have a designated Q&A time. You can go ahead and begin asking your questions now using that Q&A feature, and our reps are standing by, excited to engage with you and answer all of your great questions. Just a reminder that there are more sessions associated with the college fair, so please make sure to take a look at the upcoming session, check the schedule, see what you like, and sign up for more sessions. This session is currently being recorded, and the video recording of this session, as well as all the other sessions associated with this college fair, will be available at strivescan.com/Greater Denver. Excellent. So now for the good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start with our first college of the evening, which is Drake University.
Okay, I think you guys can see that, and I'm unmuted. So hello, everybody. My name is Carmen Avila, and I'm the Regional Admission Counselor for Drake University. So I am a regional counselor, so that means that I live here in the Denver area just to kind of better connect with Colorado students on the regular. But kind of jumping right into it, some fast facts about Drake University. We are a four-year private liberal arts institution, and we are located in Des Moines, Iowa. So our undergraduate population is just under 3,000 students with an average class size of about 21 students. There are very few classes at Drake where you'll find yourself in a lecture hall full of like 100 students. This is very important to Drake. We like to ensure that our students are getting the attention and support that they need to be successful students, while also creating an environment that encourages our students to participate in the classroom. And so even though we may sound kind of like a small school, we are a D1 institution. So we are still providing that full college experience for our students. We have over 150 student organizations and clubs that vary from pre-professional, multicultural, religious, Greek life, intramural sports, everything that a college really could provide. And as I said, we are a D1 institution, so we have 18 men and women's different sporting teams that our students really like to go out and support. The very common theme with Drake students is that they are very busy and highly engaged in their college community. We have over 100 different degree programs to choose from. Some of our more well-known programs would include actuarial science. We have a pre-farm to accelerated PharmD program, data analytics, computer science, journalism, a lot of businesses, honestly, but there are really a lot of programs. A common theme that we have within all of our programs, though, is that our faculty go above and beyond to not only take the time to get to know their students, but really providing that guidance to help make sure that our students are taking full advantage of all the opportunities that they can while at Drake. Something else that's really special about Drake University is that our students typically are not limiting themselves to just one major. We have a lot of students who are really pursuing double majors, a major and one minor or two minors. We really like to encourage our students to pursue all avenues that they're considering. And so typically, if you're the student who is, have very unique career aspirations, or you're interested in multiple areas, you really want to look for that type of college that really supports the student pursuing more than just one lane as a major. And with that, our educational experiences, they aren't just limited to the classroom. Drake students are completing internships throughout their 4 years as a student. So as a state capital, the greater Des Moines area serves as a government, a commercial, a cultural, and a recreational hub for the state of Iowa. So the region has some of the best business climates in the country. These are just some of the businesses that regularly, continuously have Drake students interning with them, but by no means is this all that there is. So we are a test optional university. We have been that way. That is not temporary because of COVID. I really love this about Drake because students get the opportunity to apply the pathway that they'll be the strongest. So you can do that test score pathway. If you blow the SAT out of the water, you're really good at taking a test, like amazing, apply that way. But if you aren't the best test taker, or you're looking for a university that's going to assess you by more than just how well you did on one test one day, looking for schools that have that test optional pathway. So our students can apply with test scores, an essay, or an interview, and we holistically review every student. We're not looking for that cookie cutter, put you in a box type school. We're looking at everything in an application and basing how well you did in school for our admissions decisions. With that, our presidential scholarship is our merit. This is guaranteed 100% to every single student who is admitted into Drake. So this right here is a 4-year scholarship, and this cuts your tuition down by roughly half, depending on where you fall on the scale. But this is what brings our tuition down to kind of about in-state tuition rates of what you're looking at here in the Colorado universities, your home state schools. And so with this merit and everything, students are really able to look at Drake as a financial option and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm going out of state, that's too much. We really provide a lot of scholarship opportunities for our students. These are some of our other freshman or first year student scholarships that we have available. These do have application processes. If you're curious to learn more about these, I'd be more than happy to answer those questions. But kind of wrapping up with just my little bit left here, with that 4-year scholarship, with you being able to be a double major and graduate in 4 years, we also have our tuition guarantee, which is just our fancy term for locked in rate. So whatever that tuition rate is your very first year as a student at Drake, you're locked into that rate for 4 years. So that really helps the student and family to financially plan for that full cost of education. At Drake, we really strive to make sure that we're preparing our students to be as successful globalized citizens. So this kind of here is just our data for the class of 2020, which personally, that's probably the worst year to be thrown into the adult world and graduate from college during a global pandemic. But our graduates were where they wanted to be, whether that was continuing their education or jumping right into the workforce. This is something that is very consistent with Drake. Prior to COVID, for 8 years, we had accomplishment rates that never dropped below 98%. And so with that hands-on experience, with those engagements with the professors, we really are seeing our students excited and looking forward to graduating and jumping feet first into their career. And so this is just my contact information. Like I said, I work with all students in the state of Colorado. So if you have any questions at all, I am your girl, so reach out. Thank you guys so very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Drake University. It's great to hear more about your institution. Next up, we have Coe College.
All right, hi everyone. I'm going to get my screen share going here so you can see my presentation. There it is. Hopefully you're seeing that now. Hi, I'm Mo Mose. I am from Coe College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And we are about 2 hours east of Des Moines. And I could probably just say ditto to a lot of the things that Carmen talked about. We're also a small college in Iowa in a city, which I think is fairly unique. So a lot of you may be looking at small colleges in the Midwest, and some are in real small towns and some are in cities. And we happen to be a small college. We're about 1,400 students. We're a small liberal arts college in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We're right in the heart of the city. Here is what downtown Cedar Rapids looks like. And it's about 250,000 people, I would say, with the surrounding sort of communities that bump up against the city proper. The river, Cedar River, runs right through our downtown area. Coe sits just about 10 blocks from downtown Cedar Rapids. So it is walkable. We're right in the heart of everything. So we take full advantage of that. And I really think that's one thing that makes Coe unique and kind of sets us apart from other small colleges in the Midwest is our internship opportunities. I know Carmen talked about that too. That is one of the advantages of being in a larger city. Coe, we're very excited that we just found out about a week ago that the Princeton Review has ranked Coe number 10 in the country for internships. So we're super happy to report that. We've been in the top 25 for probably the last 5 or 6 years at least. So great internship opportunities. Cedar Rapids is routinely voted as a top place to live. Some of our graduates love it enough that they stick around. In fact, about half of our alumni actually live in the Cedar Rapids area, which is kind of crazy because not half of our students come from the Cedar Rapids area. So our graduates really like Cedar Rapids well enough to make it their home. It's kind of like a nice cycle with our alumni base. We are ranked number 20 in the country. That's a recent ranking from the Princeton Review for our alumni network. So that all kind of works together. Internships, alumni, we take advantage of that network to create those internship opportunities. So at Cedar Rapids, that's something that I think is really unique. The other thing that's unique about Coe is we are a residential college. We are almost 100% residential. So that's something that's kind of unique in that a lot of colleges that are in cities have a higher commuter population, students that are driving in and off campus each day. And so probably 95% of our students live right on campus all 4 years. It's a super tight-knit community of people that are living together, eating together in the same cafeterias, going to class together, involved in athletics. And as you can see here, very focused on their academics in terms of, figuring out their career path. We have fantastic advising. And this is one reason that a high percentage of our students are able to finish in 4 years, even with a double major. Some people triple major, some people double major and minor. There's any combination of academic paths that you can choose. Small classes, 15 is our average class size. We have an 11-to-1 student faculty ratio. So just tons of access to your faculty, staff, support systems on campus. Studying abroad. So these are just a sample of some of the places that our students have gone. About 40% of our students will study abroad. And then we have some programs in the United States also that are our own. We have a New York City term that's a full semester. We have a Washington, D.C. term. We have a Boundary Waters term for northern Minnesota. We own a wilderness field station up in northern Minnesota. For all you folks that are interested in the environment or just being in the outdoors, that's a summer program. So you can do lots of different travel. We are on a 4-4-1 schedule, which means you're taking 4 classes in the fall, 4 in the spring, and then during the month of May, it's a 1-course month where most of our students are traveling during that time and taking their class in far off locations or somewhere else in the United States. So lots of opportunities. Some of the countries that our students have gone to recently, Argentina, Ghana, Italy, Japan, China, Ireland, England, and the list just goes on and on. So success after graduation, almost 100% every year are employed or in grad school within 9 months of graduation. And a lot of that is tied to that internship ranking that I just told you about a little bit earlier. So people are getting jobs or they are moving on into graduate school. In fact, our physics and chemistry programs have not had a student graduate and have to pay for grad school since the 1980s. We have phenomenal research opportunities for people in the sciences, in business, psychology, all of those areas. So when they finish, their resume looks like they're already in graduate school. That's why we have that success rate. So dates and deadlines, just real quickly, March 1st is our application deadline. You can apply anytime. Financial aid deadline, FAFSA opens up Friday, so definitely get on that. We have visit programs. I'm going to put some links in the chat function here when I'm finished, and that will have some information about our visit programs and what have you. But thanks. We'll hope to see you on campus at some point, and have a good rest of your evening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coe. Next up, we have Grinnell College.
Okay. Hopefully people can see my screen.
It looks like Coe's still screen sharing. Coe, if you could stop screen sharing.
Yep, I am attempting. I am having some technical difficulties. There we go.
There we go.
Beautiful. Okay. Can people see my screen?
You're all good.
Perfect. So hello, everyone. My name is Grace Robertson Lloyd. I work at Grinnell College. Much like the colleges that have already spoken, we're a small, really residential style of school. Grinnell is a small private liberal arts college located in a more rural location. So that is a difference. We're located in a small town of about 10,000 people. But we love our location because it is a college town. It has a movie theater, a maker's lab, an art center, a bowling alley, great restaurants, that sort of thing. And our students work, volunteer, eat in town, watch movies, hang out, etc. And so when it comes to this campus, this is really a community-driven environment. Grinnell has 1,700 students. So like I said, it is small, but we are incredibly diverse. We are always just really surprising people with the diversity that we have on our campus. And don't get me wrong, we love our Iowans, but we're actually 93% out of state, as you can see. Only 7% of our students come from our home state of Iowa. We actually have almost 3 times the amount of international students as we do Iowans. And that's because Grinnell really does have a national and global draw for students. It's really cool to see where students are coming from. As you can see, like 25% of our domestic population, our US citizens, are students of color. 15% of our students are first generation students. This is a campus that is diverse in a lot of different ways, from gender and sexual identities to race and ethnic identities to languages spoken. We have more than 60 languages spoken on campus, more than 50 countries represented in all 50 US states. So this is a diverse place in a lot of different ways. And the college works really hard to support that diversity. We have an Office of Intercultural Student Affairs, International Student Affairs, multiple student-run organizations, from Concerned Black Students to International Student Organization to Asian American Association, just to make sure that students can find their people, can feel supported, and can feel like this place can really be home, no matter where they're coming from. So through all those organizations, through different opportunities and offices, Stonewall Resource Center for LGBTQIA+ students, and all the different advising opportunities, our students are able to really make this small place in Iowa feel like home to them. Now, when it comes to some other things that are unique about Grinnell, I always like to talk about our curriculum. So at Grinnell, we actually only have one required class outside of the requirements of a student's major. This is very different than almost all schools. So it's called an open curriculum. We like to call it an individually advised curriculum. Basically, within your major department, you'll have some requirements that you have to take in that specific department. So say you're an English major, you will have courses that you are required to take. A couple of them might be in other departments, but they're required of your major. And outside of that, you take whatever you want. There's only one required class that students take in their first semester, first year. It's an introduction to Grinnell. It teaches you how to read, write, do research, basically how to be a college student and succeed at a rigorous college level. And so through this class, students gain those soft skills that they can then apply to all the other classes that they will take while a student at Grinnell. So it's a really fun class, and this whole curriculum makes it so that students can try things in completely different departments that maybe they've never thought of. It also allows students that maybe know exactly what they want to do. You want to be a lawyer? Great. You can start taking classes specific to that career path as a first-year student. You don't have to wait to go through core curriculum requirements or general education requirements. So it allows students to double major at high rates. It allows students to double major in completely unrelated departments, which is also very fun. One of my friends was a physics and music double major, for example. And that's the purpose of this style of curriculum. And while it can sound a little daunting to have no academic requirements, what's nice is every student actually starts at Grinnell with 3 advisors. You have a career advisor, which is someone who helps you think about internships and career planning as a first year. You have a student life advisor that helps to make sure basically that you are getting along okay socially and in the residence halls, because no matter who you are or where you're coming from, college is very much a transition. And so having a student that lives in the dorm and is assigned to check in on you is really nice. And then every student also has an academic advisor to make sure that they're challenging themselves, not overwhelming themselves. Balance is really important. And so that academic advisor is a professor that works with students through their 4 years. That advisor might change, and often when students declare their major, they choose a new advisor within that department. But what's nice is that you do always have a professor working with you and meeting with you individually. When it comes to other opportunities, there are so many different things I could talk about. So there's a lot of stats on this slide. I'm going to leave that slide up so you can check that out. But the big thing is that our students do off-campus study, so take advantage of off-campus study opportunities at very high rates. That's something we really push for students because we are such a global campus. We want students to have that experience before they graduate. All of our students are required to do in-class research, and then we also offer opportunities for mentored and funded research programs as well that students can do over the summer. And when it comes to post-grad success, our students are getting into amazing graduate programs, often their first or second choice grad program. They're employed after they cross the graduation stage, which is very great. And we're actually 7th in the US for PhD productivity. So the last thing I will mention is that Grinnell is a school that is really committed to financial aid and accessibility for students. We are a competitive institution. We have about a 10% acceptance rate overall. So I always want to be honest about that. But for any student who is admitted, we will meet 100% of the demonstrated financial need for all students with no loans. And most of our students are receiving some form of financial aid. So this is a school where the hard part is getting in, not affording it once you do, and we are really committed to that. I'll drop some links in the chat. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me individually. And of course, we'll have a little Q&A at the end of this session. Thank you all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Grinnell College. Students, I want to just give a gentle reminder to please use the Q&A function to ask questions of our college reps here tonight. Without further ado, University of Iowa, take it away.
Thanks, Vanessa. Share my screen here as well. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Appreciate following up all my Iowa peers. I think I'm the last one for the evening. My name is Chris Trado. I'm one of the associate directors here specifically at the University of Iowa. I've traveled Colorado, recruited Colorado, if you will, the whole state for the past 10 years. I'm actually sitting here in Denver right now, but I am campus based. But it's been a pleasure to be able to serve the Coloradans that consider not only Iowa, but our entire state as well. So I think it's important first and foremost to, at least for me, to frame up, like paint a picture of what we look like. And on the screen currently, you can see this is campus. It's not the entire campus, but it's the majority of campus where our students who consider us would spend time. And so what I want to highlight here in the front, kind of middle right now, currently, there's a gold dome centered at our campus. That's the old Capitol. That was the capital of Iowa until it migrated to Des Moines, where it sits today. And I tell students when they come visit us, whether it's a program visit through our office or just coming through on a family vacation or just checking out our campus, if you stood there at that dome and you do a 360 in your mind, you're about 6-7 minutes north, south, east, and west of about 90% of your time on our campus. Yes, we are a Big Ten institution, which I'll highlight a little bit more in just a moment. But there's the intimacy of actually being able to get places really easily and recognize faces on our campus too. You can also tell there's a river running through the middle of our campus. It's the picturesque Iowa River, offers us two sides of campus. The east side I just explained. And on the west side of the top of the screen, those majority of those buildings up to the University of Iowa Hospital and Clinics. We're one of the largest teaching hospitals on a campus in America. Really proud of that, and allows our students some really great opportunities to be able to get hands-on experience too in our community. By the way, Iowa City, classic college town. I mean, if you're looking for something where everything revolves around the black and the gold, meaning our school colors and the Hawkeyes, this is a place that you could potentially call home. Iowa City is about 150,000 direct flights into Cedar Rapids from DIA, so convenience in that manner. All right, let's keep moving here, hopefully. All right, here's our student profile. Gives you a snapshot of who attends the university. As you can see, we're just under 32,000 total students. We're about 4,500 first-year students, which is what we want to focus on. We're not in the growth model here. We feel like that 4,500 to 4,800 is a real good mark for where we want to be. You can see where our residents and non-residents, we try to strike a 50-50 balance as much as we can. Had a little bit of an uptick this past year with the pandemic, but really overall try to be at that 50-50 mark. You can also see our data on the right there with regards to average GPA in mid 50% for the ACT and SAT. By the way, we'll take either one of the tests, whatever you decide to take, if you even supply a test to which I'll speak to here in just a moment. All right, you can see here, obviously this is just another campus shot here. We do get snow in the state of Iowa, no different than in Colorado. It's exciting our students. This is a hill right here. Our students love sledding down it, but it showcases another piece of our campus. As you can see on the right here, 200 plus areas of studies, tremendous breadth when you look at a university the size of Iowa. But you can see we also have specific areas that you could be potentially directly admitted to. So you would apply to Iowa, and then some of our colleges, our College of Business, College of Public Health, College of Pharmacy, just to name a few, have direct admission opportunities as well here, as well as us having a dental, a law, and a medical campus in Iowa City too. How to apply to the university, slightly different than my peers that have just spoken. We are governed by the state of Iowa. So on the upper right-hand corner, you can see we have a formula. It's very transparent. It's used by Iowa State, and the University of Northern Iowa, again, governed by our state. So if a person has a test score that they want to supply, we are test optional again this year. The state of Iowa will determine that later this fall for juniors and or underclassmen. But if you have a test score, ACT or SAT, we look at your cumulative GPA. We'll utilize your weighted GPA if you have one, and your number of core classes, your academic classes. We have a calculator online that you can plug that in, and if your score as a non-resident comes back above a 255, congratulations, you've been admitted. And I won't go into a lot of detail, just know that we are formula-based with that. If a student decides to apply without a test score, fully acceptable. We will just look at you a little more holistically and likely require a personal statement and or essay. We also have a November 1 early action deadline. So for the seniors listening, I would encourage you to do that sooner than later. 34th best public school. It puts us in the top 5% of the public schools in America. 15-to-1 student faculty ratio. It makes us feel really small. I usually like to say that 80% of our classes have less than 30 students. It's something you can kind of think about in your mind, very similar to what you would have in high school. And then this is the fun stuff, right? This is why students maybe potentially select us. This is historic Kinnick Stadium, 70,000 of your closest friends sitting in there cheering on our Hawkeyes to hopefully to victory. We're really fortunate right now to have a number 5 ranking, and hopefully that persists throughout the season. You can also see in the left-hand side of the screen, the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, which is the home of the wave after the first quarter, where all of our fans turn around, as well as opposing teams and officials, and wave at the kids who are in the hospital at the end of the first quarter. So an emotional, impactful opportunity for our fans. And then finally, to wrap it up, like many of my colleagues said, we're here to help you. We're here to serve you. We just hope you find the right fit. When it comes to selecting a college, we realize you have a lot of choices, and we thank you for joining us tonight and taking part of this. So I'll plug my email in here shortly as well, and I wish you the best. And again, get a hold of us if you have any questions. Thank you for your time.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We actually have 2 more colleges. Next up, we have Southern Utah University.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Kelly Mezzo. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions and Recruitment For Southern Utah University, I am actually based in Southern California, but Colorado is one of my territories. So you guys will be dealing directly with me. So a little bit about Southern Utah. We are located in what we like to call the middle of everywhere. So we are less than a day's drive from multiple different places. We also are surrounded by 20 different national parks, all within a 5 hours drive from campus. Some of the biggest ones being Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon, Cedar Breaks, as well as Brynett Ski Resort, if any of you guys like to ski or snowboard. We do get all 4 seasons with the snow being more on the mild side in Cedar City. We are also a very small rural town where the college is definitely the center of the town. So everyone that lives in Cedar comes to our football games or any sporting event, campus events, things like that. So it makes for a really fun atmosphere on campus. We're also not a commuter campus by any means. So most people, even if they are from Utah, are driving at least 4 hours south to come to our campus. So they are moving away from home just like you will be, meeting new people, living on their own, kind of getting that college experience. So that's just a little bit about the town. Again, we are surrounded by all those different national parks, and the college is definitely the center of the town. A little bit more about into the university specific. So we have over 140 different majors to choose from. Some of our top 5 are going to be our nursing program, aviation, if any of you guys are interested in flying a helicopter or an airplane. We are #1 helicopter school in the nation, as well as #1 in the West Coast for airplane. Business management is also going to be another one, as well as psychology. And then education is not listed on there, but that is also huge on our campus. We really focus on that hands-on learning. So our nursing students have a building on campus set up just like a hospital where we have dummies in there. They can die on you, they can give birth. So again, you get that real life hands-on experience before we send you to the local hospitals to start your clinicals. For education, we have a elementary grade classroom on our campus where again, you get to practice teaching your fellow peers and your professors before you go into the local schools to start your teaching credentials and get your hours in. We do have a 19-to-1 student faculty ratio. So what that means is that your classes are going to be fairly small, just like your high school classes. Your college classes are going to be around 40 students and under for your general studies, and then your major specifics are going to actually be 20 and under. Your professors, they know your name, they know when you're not in class, and they truly do care about you, which make for a fun learning atmosphere for you, makes you actually want to go to class because your professors do care about you. We have free tutoring centers, free writing centers on campus as well for our students. We are D1 in sports with 15 different Division I teams. The biggest one's going to be football and gymnastics. Over 130 different clubs and organizations on campus to be a part of, as well as we just reached almost 13,000 students on our campus. So we are growing and we will continue to want to grow, but we are going to still keep that small student faculty ratio, whether that means hiring more faculty or not. And that big number, that 13,000, is also including our graduate students that go to campus in person, basically. So a little bit more of how to be accepted into our university. So we are also a test optional school, just like most of all these other schools. We are going to be looking at your overall unweighted GPA. To get into the university, you have to have at least an overall unweighted GPA of a 2.3 to be automatically admitted into SUU. To start our scholarships, they are going to start at a 2.8, go all the way to an overall unweighted 4.0. If you do have a test score, I highly recommend sending it in. But again, it is not required, but we will look at both, whatever you send to us. You can also email me directly a PDF of your transcripts as well as your test scores, so you don't even have to pay to send those into the university. Also, to apply to our school, it is directly on our website at su.edu/apply. And it is also free this year for you guys as seniors to apply. We did take away our $50, so it is completely free, no waiver code needed. And again, you can send me directly those test scores and transcripts, so you don't have to pay to send those in either. Our deadlines to Send in all of these are going to be by March 1st of senior year, and then to accept your scholarship and acceptance into the university is going to be of May 1st of senior year. And that is pretty much all I have for you guys. I will also put my information in the chat, so if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Southern Utah. And last but not least, we're going to get into our final college of the evening. That's University of Utah.
Hi, everybody. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay, awesome. So, hi, my name is Jocelyn, and I am an admissions counselor at the University of Utah. And today, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown and then answer some questions afterwards. So, the University of Utah is located in Salt Lake City. However, we do have a campus in Incheon, South Korea. And fun fact, we are also in the process of building a campus in Ghana, Africa. We have just about 24,000 undergraduate students, and despite that big number, we have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio, meaning that most of your classes are going to be pretty small, about 23 people. We are a Research One university, so as soon as day one of your freshman year, you are able to participate in research and get hands-on experience with professors, which is actually a pretty cool opportunity. We are part of the Association of American Universities alongside schools like Stanford, Harvard, and MIT. So we're in pretty good company, and it's actually a pretty great opportunity to be part of that. We are a full-fledged college city. Salt Lake City is about half a day's drive away from 5 national parks and within 45 minutes of 7 world-class ski resorts. So you can literally just pick up your board and go right after class. We are 5 to 10 minutes away from downtown Salt Lake City, and there's always something happening in Salt Lake City. As a student, you are able to travel on what's called UTA, which is Utah Transit Authority, which is our public transportation system. So with your U card, you're able to travel the city for free. The University of Utah has 18 colleges and over 150 academic programs. Some of our more popular programs are our business school, our pre-professional advising, which is medical school, law school, things like that. Our BS in gaming. Yes, mom and dad, you can make money making video games. That is our basically our video game major. And also our engineering program. The University of Utah is dedicated to being your home away from home. We have really great living opportunities on campus, and studies show that students that actually live on campus have higher GPAs and are more than likely to graduate. Some of our dorms have what is called a living and learning community. Which has different themes, and you're able to live with people that have similar interests as you. For example, Callert Village has floors that are dedicated to like STEM programs, health and wellness, community service, and honors college. So you're able to live and learn and interact with people that have the same interests as you, and you're able to build your network. Just minutes away from student housing is the Student Life Center. This is where students are able to go and work out for free. They also hold a lot of different really cool activities, such as the dive-in, where students are able to go and swim while watching Jaws, which is actually a pretty popular event. We also have what's called the Outdoor Recreation Center, where you're able to rent out any outdoor recreation things that you can imagine. I heard a rumor that you could actually rent head-to-toe ski gear for basically $25 as a student, which is pretty insane. If skiing is not your thing, if working out's not your thing, the University of Utah has about 600, actually more than 600 student clubs. They range anywhere from cultural to recreational and things like that. I hear that we have a Mountain Dew and Doritos club, which is cool. It's for students that love Mountain Dew and Doritos. If you can't find a club that suits your needs, that's okay. You are able to create your own, and it is recognized by the university. The University of Utah is part of the Pac-12, which is known as the Conference of Champions. Not only does this put us ahead as an academic school, but also an athletic school as well. And one of our most popular sports that everyone loves is football. So as a student at the University of Utah, I strongly encourage you to be a part of the MUS. Basically what this is the Mighty Utah Student Section, and you get this pass where you get season tickets to sporting events on campus, and you get some really cool swag, and you are able to cheer on your teams with thousands and thousands of students around us. This is what's known as their jump down at football games, where students jump up and down during the third down of the opposing team. And we've actually been told that it has been categorized as a mini earthquake by our meteorology department across campus, which is actually pretty cool. So let's talk about admissions. We are known as a school that does holistic review. So meaning we don't just look at your academics. There is no minimum GPA requirements, and you don't have to submit your SAT or ACT scores. We are test optional. Our priority deadline, our early action deadline, is December 1st. And I strongly encourage you to send in your application by then if you want to be considered for merit-based scholarships. I also strongly encourage you to go and visit campus and see for yourself how great of a school the University of Utah is. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Here's my information. Thank you so much for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite all of the reps to come back just for a quick lightning round question. So if everyone could rejoin with cameras on, that would be great. So I just have one question for you. What advice would you give to our students here who are going through the college search process right now? And just take 10 seconds to share some words of wisdom.
Yeah, so I think I would start with just saying, don't be afraid or intimidated at the idea of connecting with your admission counselors. We'll send emails to you and reach out and make ourselves available. We truly, as a lot of my colleagues here have been saying, we're here to help alleviate this process. It's a year-long stressful process. And yes, we get paid to recruit and for one specific university, but a lot of us are in this role personally to kind of help you through that whole process. So don't ever be afraid to send your questions and your curiosities to your admission counselor.
I would say take advantage of both in-person visiting when you can and the plethora of virtual opportunities. This is great that you're at a college fair virtually, but most colleges I know will offer, one-on-one faculty meetings over Zoom. Don't be intimidated by meeting with a faculty member. You can learn a ton and just get a feel for what college professors are really like at large schools, small schools. So take advantage of those virtual opportunities whenever you can.
I feel like I'm going to give kind of the same advice, but talk to people, ask questions. If you have the opportunity to interview, please do an interview. I think it always helps, whether it's with an alum, whether it's with a staff member, whether it's with a current student. All of our schools do things differently. Not all of us require them, but it's a really great way for you to ask us questions, but also for us to get to know you. So look into all the different schools that you're interested in, see if they offer interviews, see if they're offering them in your area or virtually, etc., and take advantage of those, because I think they're kind of fun. And I think they can only really help you.
You have a lot of individuals out there who are willing to support you, specifically your family, your parents, your guardians. Obviously, you talk to your peers, and your peers can be influencers, and that's important. But I also want you to remember that this is an independent decision. This is something that you are doing for yourself. And that's why we're here in 6 very different institutions. And so this is just the start of hopefully a really cool journey. Whether you're a senior, junior, or underclassman, have fun with this process.
And I would say the same as Coe College is go visit those campuses. Southern Utah University specifically is open completely for campus tours. We really want to see your guys' face. It's just a little more personal, and personally, that's how I was able to decide where I wanted to go to school, is actually stepping foot on campus. You never truly know if that's the school you want to go to until you actually step foot and can picture yourself on that campus.
Yeah, for me, I would say the hardest part about applying for school is worrying if you guys hear me? Okay. Is worrying that you didn't do enough to put into your application and impress people. So what I would do is I would make sure that I let everything there is to know, I put down everything there is to know about me and show who I am as a person in my application. Because as an admissions counselor, that's what I want to see is the person and not just the number and not just your GPA. So just in your application, just help us get to know you for sure.
That was great advice by all of our admissions reps. I hope all of you take it to heart and you got a lot out of this session. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to all the colleges and universities we heard from tonight. Thank you to all our student participants who joined us. As you close out of this session, there's going to be a very quick 5-question survey. We'd love if you can take that, and just don't forget to sign up for more sessions. This recording will be available at strivescan.com/Greater Denver. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And I think that's all we have for tonight. Everyone have a great night. Bye.